Welcome back to CFB Nation. I'm your host, Nino Brown. We got a very special interview today with Cal Poly quarterback Sam Huard. How we doing, buddy?
We're doing great. Thanks for having me on the show today.
No problem. I appreciate you coming on. Wanted to say again, thank you for coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule, and doing this interview with CFB Nation. We greatly appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. Excited
All
to be
right.
on.
Now, football runs deep in your bloodline. Dad was an NFL QB. Both your uncles were FBS QBs. What's it like growing up in a family of elite football talent?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to be able to, be in a family with, such a big football family. Just for me on my own path, being able to have not only my dad, but my uncle, both my grandparents on both my mom and dad's side were high school football coaches. Just being able to have that, to lean on and to go to first just for support, so many people in my family that have, been in my shoes and have been on this football journey. It's definitely a blessing. And, I'm very grateful for it. And very grateful to have such supportive family members who, not only just love and support me, but are, very, very supportive and know the game of football as well.
That's crazy. You've been around football pretty much your whole life.
Yeah, no, I have. I mean, I definitely grew up, playing catch in the backyard with my dad. That's, really where I learned how to, throw a football and, learn my love for the game and just being able to grow up. And, he coached me in youth sports as well. And just being able to, grow up, not only, being able to play the game, but, I remember when I was little being able to go watch him play in Kansas City, when I was really little, watching him play for the Chiefs and just being able to be in those environments growing up, going to those games and just be able to have that my, in my life was really special for sure.
Oh, I remember your dad had a brief stint over here in New England. I remember seeing him. So, it's like full circle. You had it your whole life. I had him a little bit on TV. So it's pretty cool. Now we both get to talk.
For sure. Yeah. No, I was born in Rhode Island, but I haven't been back there since I was 2. So.
Oh wow, that's cool. I was actually born in Rhode Island as well, East Providence. So that's crazy.
That's awesome. Small world.
Yeah. Right. All right. Now let's talk briefly about your illustrious high school career at Candid Catholic High School. You threw for a record 214 yards, 153 touchdowns, a career completion percentage of 62%. But your senior year shortened due to a pandemic. Talk to us about the senior year. I mean, you threw for 13 touchdowns in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, it definitely was unfortunate, not being able to have a full senior season. We had a really special team that year, and we were excited to go hopefully, chase that state championship for the first time in our high school histories. But just being able to look back on that experience, even during that COVID year, a lot of schools were shut down in the state of Washington. It was pretty strict with all the rules and regulations, that stuff. But just me and all my guys, we just really stayed committed throughout the whole thing and just throwing together, working out together at the school, doing whatever we could to just be ready. And, even though it was just for 3 games that I was able to play in my senior year, we definitely were still able to accomplish a lot of special things together.
Now with, being, an athlete during the COVID season, was it like kind of a burden, or is it like, after like, a week or two, it was kind of just like, business as usual?
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate, not being able to really have a senior season, officially with fans in the stands, being able to go to school. It was definitely, not what I expected my senior year of high school to look like. I think the craziest thing for me was, I was kind of scheduled, my senior year, I was planning for a couple of years to be able to finish my season, then that winter graduate early and get to UW for that winter. But then when they pushed our season back to the spring, I wanted to stay for that and be able to play in a couple games with my teammates for one more senior season. But I think the craziest thing of all that was playing those 3 games my senior year, and then after my 3rd game, a week and a half later, I was practicing at UW.
Yeah,
so it was such a fast turnaround. It was a lot, at once. But I just think in the heat of all that what was going on, it was just the situation that was at hand.
They say dive right in, right? You just get your feet wet and go. So
yeah, for sure.
You were a 5-star recruit coming out of Candid Catholic High School, and you had a boatload of offers from schools like Florida, Arizona, Cal, Boise State, and of course Washington. Outside of the family tradition, what made you choose Washington, and what was it like visiting that campus now as you were, being a collegiate athlete?
Yeah, I mean, just growing up, both my parents went to UW. Just growing up a huge Husky fan, a diehard Husky fan. That was my dream forever to go put on the purple and the gold. And just I remember when I got that opportunity when I was in high school, and Coach Peterson, who was the coach at the time when they offered me, he gave me that opportunity, and the next day I committed to him. It was always something that I knew, not only my dream, but something I, always wanted to go do. And just, even, it didn't go exactly the way I expected. That's life. But I'm super grateful for being able to run out of that tunnel and to go, play in a game there, go play in some games there, and being able to have that experience. I'm super grateful for it. And, just coming out and deciding on that out of high school, is my dream. And it was just something that I always wanted to do. And so, even with the coaching change and a couple of the stuff that happened when I was there in high school, it was still just, it meant so much to me to be able to go have the opportunity that I just stayed true to it.
What was that moment like, that first game you were able to run out that tunnel?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I remember just getting the chills, and, going on the field for the first time and, getting my name announced, it was definitely a dream come true. And, just looking back on it, I'm just super, super grateful for it.
Now, you got to play in 4 games as a true freshman in 2021, including starting at Washington State in the Apple Cup. Can you talk to us about that game a little bit? What you remember the most?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, wasn't, my best performance, but I definitely learned a lot that game. A lot of motivation from that game for sure. Just it was unfortunate how it ended up, losing that game at home and the way it went. But, like I said, I learned a lot from it. I, such great teammates, such supportive people around me just to, support me through that time and have my back. And I'm just very grateful for all the people and the lessons and the motivation that I gained from that game.
Yeah, that a learning experience, right? You got to go through it and you learn from it and just move on.
Mm-hmm,
Now,
sure.
earlier this year, you decided to enter the transfer portal and you headed to Cal Poly. Did the return of Michael Penix have a factor in that decision? And it was because you wanted to play ball and just get on the field. And what is it like reuniting with Coach Cross at Cal Poly?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately at the end of the day, that was the main, one of the main reasons to get in the portal. Obviously with him coming back, it's his team at UW, and he's an amazing, phenomenal player. And so, I knew the situation, and I just think with everything going on, COVID, not really getting a senior year of high school, not playing really those first 2 years at UW, and I'm looking at like, okay, I'm gonna, this will probably be a third year in college not playing, and that's kind of 3.5, 4 years of not playing quarterback, and then I have 2 years left on my clock to go, find
Right.
again. And, that's just a long time. And, not being able to get those reps and those learning experiences and all that stuff and playing in those games, I just, as much as I loved, UW and that was my dream and everything that came along with that, I love the game of football and I love being able to have an opportunity to go compete, to go play and, to go somewhere and be a leader and go, go have an opportunity to win games for my team. So just being able to, having an opportunity once I got in the portal, I think that was the hardest decision for me was to enter the portal. I talked a little bit about it. I was just super back and forth on it because, I know that nothing in life comes easy and I just kind of wanted to stick it out at UW and just hopefully get my opportunity down the road and be ready. But at the same time, it's like, I got to do what's best for me right now. And I know that I need to go find an opportunity where I can go compete and get those reps, develop as a quarterback. And I'm just very grateful that I have that opportunity here at Cal Poly with, my high school coach now here as offensive coordinator. Just being able to play for him in a great area with a great team. Just excited to go build something special here.
Oh, I love it. I mean, you can hear it in your voice, just the way you carry yourself. Like you're a leader. I haven't seen much of you. You know what I mean? But just the way you handle yourself and the way you carry, your demeanor, you can definitely tell that you're a leader on the field. So it'll be interesting to see this year. I'm excited.
Appreciate it.
Now Cal Poly's coming off a 2-9. 1-7 in the conference season in the Big Sky Conference. What are your expectations what are the expectations like in San Luis? I'm gonna get that wrong every time. Yeah, thank you.
It took me a while to get it. No, it's all good.
And then, is there a connection still there with you and wide receiver Reed Shumpet?
Yeah, no, for sure. Coming here with Reed, me and him did a lot of great things together in high school. He's one of my close friends as well, and just being able to have him here, kind of being in this journey together, is great. But yeah, I think, like I said, there's a lot, for us to prove as a team and also individually. And, I just think that I've really noticed just being down here for about a month and a half now and going through spring ball and now being in the first couple of weeks of our summer workout program and all that stuff, just the excitement. There's a great new energy. Coach Wolf taking over as the head coach. This will be his first year here at Cal Poly as the head coach. Coach Cross coming in, bringing the air raid offense. It's a great young team, a lot of talent. A lot of guys were banged up last year and, kind of going through that experience and learning, playing at as young guys. So, I'm very excited about the team. I can just feel the excitement and the energy from everyone and everyone just going in there every single day, pushing each other, putting in the work, really holding each other accountable and to a higher level. And I'm just grateful to be in a position to be in a spot where there's so many people around me that are hungry and excited to go build something. And, it especially makes my job easier, coming in as a new guys as a quarterback and just trying to grow as a leader on the team when there's guys that are really wanting to already buying in and just really invested in it. And, you know, I couldn't be more excited to be at a great place with a great, hungry group of people around me.
That's awesome. I mean, what was that first text like when you hit up Reed?
Yeah, I mean, we came down here on our visit together. And I just remember when, you know, we were down here and we're just like, you know, this place is special. You know, I've never been to San Luis Obispo before I took my visit here. And I just remember being here that weekend and, you know, just the weather and being from, you know, growing up in Seattle, you know, I'm used to kind of the rain, the colder weather, all that stuff. And just coming down here to a climate that's, you know, 365 days a year, you're going to expect, you know, good weather, although there's been a little bit of rain down here, I guess the past couple months before I got here, but just overall, just being in a great place. You know, it's such a great town, and you know, you have the beach 15 minutes away. You got a great little, you know, downtown San Luis Obispo is a great spot. The campus is beautiful, and there's just such great people here and a great energy. And we're just super excited, you know, on our visit, and then obviously now being able to come here and play football.
I love it. I'm gonna close this out with one question I ask everybody with. What's the breakfast cereal 101? The last bowl of cereal you can ever have.
Cereal. The last breakfast bowl of cereal. I'm big like Honey Nut Cheerios, pretty good. I'll go with those. Frosted Flakes, that too. One of those two. I'm not a huge cereal guy, but if I had to pick those two, those would be them.
All right. I love it, Sam. Again, once again, I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to do this interview, and you got a fan of me. I'll be watching for sure.
Of course, I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.